So now what we got going on is some oral care. We got the Dichem Blue underneath all the silicone, and we're just using brake clean to get underneath to get the bluing off the Dichem, and it helps the silicone come right up with a little bit of brushing. So obviously the majority of the blue is going to go away first, but if you keep brushing on it, and this can's almost empty, so one can in, probably going to take you 2 cans to get it up there. Alright, so that's the best angle I can give you, but I'm over here trying to show you my little routine. I got a stubborn chunk of silicone right here and right here, and just a little more around the edges in some spots, but wait for the plane to pass. Yeah. So you let one side soak, right? You can scrub on it a little bit and get it in there, and then soak it again, and then go and work on the one you were thinking that was going to be a pain in the keister. All right. Let that one soak a little bit. You come back to this one, and you hit that one up again. And now that one had the chemicals working on it, so it's starting to come off there. You see that? Oh yeah. Man, for a while there, I hadn't seen my seats in so long, I was starting to think that didn't exist. Look at that. So, be prepared to get a Dremel on a brass brush, or a brass little wheel on a Dremel. Preferably the biggest diameter possible to keep the steel stuff away from, what you've just spent all this time trying to protect. So the reason I had all that glue on there was because I had the tool and I was going all the way in there. I was going in there at different angles, and believe it or not, I was leaning on that silicone sometimes to try and get some of the weird angles on the seats, I was the shaft of the spinning tool, 25,000 RPMs or something hitting around there. I didn't want to damage these seats, so I put that layer of glue around there. I put the Dichem underneath it. Hopefully the brake clean would help it release, and that's exactly what happened. The Dichem is underneath it. Whenever I started scrubbing on it, you can see all these little blue spots. The Dichem's still coming up underneath it. So, man, what's going on with this one? This one's all spaced out. Yeah. You see what I mean? See what I mean, Vernon? A little bit of oral care, that's all. Spend more time brushing this than you do your teeth in a month. But hey, you just spent 20 hours grinding and polishing on this to protect this surface right here. This one ring right here and all these. Why, you say? Several $1,000s, a lot of geometry, stuff you don't want to deal with. If you're just putting the cylinder head together, and you're just lapping the valves in to check the surface area, that's another thing. But I'm putting aftermarket valves in, and I'm trying to keep from doing any severe machine work to this. I do see like really, really, really fine pits inside of here. I'm hoping that'll go away with the really fine lapping. That's the only grit I'm going to use with the new valves is fine, and see if I can't get it to work out. If the layers aren't aligned, it's too high, it's too low, it's not wearing in the right spot, it's wearing to one side of the wall and not the other. One's darker, one's grayer. There's a plethora of problems that can happen. So I'm trying to see if I can't just do everything with a fine layer, see if everything is in the correct locations, check the valve depth, in which case it's actually, flip it over, it's the valve height. There's a minimum specification that I need to meet, and I'll make a video about all that. But have a good one. very nicely CNC'd aluminum water pump from Vr6parts.com. Guys are real good to deal with. I don't know if they'll send you this hardware, but they sent me some A470 stainless steel hardware with it. New gasket. Be sure to clean the bolts, the bolt holes, and the thread. Oh, I'm still cleaning. Just hang on. Wait. Okay, what we got here? What have I been getting myself into? I know. I'm gonna hear it. Shut up! Shut up. Just shut up and watch for a minute, okay? That's what I'm asking you to do. Right? If you've ever disassembled a VR6 before and you took off the accessory plate, the accessory bracket that holds the alternator, compressor, power steering, you'd seen these shoulder bolts before. Well, if you look in the bottom of this intake, don't fit in that hole, fits in that hole, fits in that hole, right? Don't fit in the outside one, doesn't fit in that one. Well, you can force it in that one. Shit. You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that the holes are going to be perfectly accurate with those holes. So let's try the furthest out bolts. Come on, something will work here. Looks like the bottom ones only works with one style. Alright, you know what? Hang on. We get to be picky today. So you can go buck wild if you want to, right? As many as you want. If you got them. If you got them. So for the people who are curious out there, let's find a clean finger. 0, 0, 0. Let's see what this measures out to. That was the one that was having difficulty. It's the one that slides into the thing near all of them. What is that one at? Man. Alright. To give you an idea of fitment, right? So, this is what we're trying to do here. Well, alright. I'm gonna need a washer. As long as that, oh, wah, wah. You know what? You know what? just to make sure I don't smush all the threads in my heads. No more smushing the threads in the heads. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, especially you, Fabluka. Come on, something's got to work here. Jiminy Cricket. So I think it was just the bottom ones. Alright, down to the little shoulder sticking out. A little tighter to spin. So even if you're just bolting the intake up to the car, you should probably try and get yourself a set of those bolts that are 9mm on the shoulder or something, and grind it down and blah blah blah. You know what, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your VR, it's just I don't care. This could work on any motor, but so I just got them like 1/8 of a turn broken free. I don't know if you can see that play. Let's get stupid. Alright, so I got roughly 1.76, 1.2, 1.74, 1.06. So I'm getting 0.7 of a millimeter of rise on the corner. You know what, that could be adjusted with how you have your bolts arranged and all that. That's not the point of this video. What I'm trying to show you is that you can get more alignment out of a shouldered bolt to the head. Okay, that's one thing. That's just to get the air to flow into the head a little better. 2, make sure it returns to 0. You're not going to measure anything better than your mom's, you know, basket weaving class if you don't have good tools. So I'm not even sure if this is on video. Is this on video? Okay. Are we even fucking recording? Pardon my language. Yeah, we're recording. Okay. Alright. So, what am I trying to do here? Let's go half the blade in. Let's try half the blade. And I'm trying to see if I'm 0.2 of a millimeter off on the ports. So we got 38.17. A little tight on the fitment. Alright, well. The tallest number I seen was 38.10. Oof, I'm not half the blade in. 38.30. What was the first one? So almost 0.2 of a millimeter off of each other. Dang near, right? So that was the bigger ports. Let's go to the smaller ports. Knock the port in. 36.12. 35.89. 35.96. So we got 8.9. 839. It's just hang on. Hold on. What am I saying here? Let's do this a little more accurately. 36.05, right? Right. So within a 1/10 of a millimeter. Still within a 10th. So 0.15 of a millimeter. Point is, I'm trying to get these ports about the same size. And then I'm trying to get the ports aligned to the head correctly. So I'm done porting, right? I'm done getting everything to the sizes that I want. Now I want to kind of flare all the ports going in to the head from the sharp edges that I just created, flaring everything, opening everything up to the right diameter. What I'm talking about is, you've seen down this ports before. Might be able to provide a picture, might not. You might be SOL. Let's see. If this helps just one person. Oh, goodness. What are we looking at here? Which ones can you see? You can't see any of them. Alright. Hold your bunny. A very custom pick tool. I'm taking it and I can run it inside of there. I can feel a lip there, I can feel a lip there, I feel a lip there, definitely feel a lip there, I feel a lip there. Whoa. It's perfectly flush right there already. Just barely. Nice. Okay. Rounder port. So it's catching on all the way around pretty evenly. On the round port, on the oval one I can't really go off of very well. Just eyeballing it at least. I don't really have a summary to this video, I just kind of wanted to show y'all what I was doing. Something that might help y'all out. If it does, great. If it doesn't, so these ports to those ports. $35.67, 36.6. Wait, that's a 35? Yeah, 35.6, 35.7, 36.2. So we got a 0.5 millimeter drop. So 0.25 of a millimeter on either side. And we're in a I'm in a 0.2 accuracy range. So we have 0.25, 0.25, and I'm within 0.2 in either direction, right? I shouldn't have a lip. Kind of get what I'm saying? Good. Let's keep going. More investigating here. You're not going to get anything done right. Sheesh, idiots. Say the top 32.48, I'm sorry, 24, 24.86, 24.90. That one's got a millimeter. Oh, I might have to blade in. 6. $24.40. Oh wait, yeah, 24. There's a lot of numbers here. I'm tired. 24.75. 24.9. 24.75 and 24.9. 24.9. Man. That's kind of at the top of it, and then immediately it starts tapering, but that's why I'm blending here. That's why we're blending. $25. So I got a half a millimeter at the bottom. I'm really, really close at the top. Let's double check that here. So yeah, this would be the top, right? And that's pretty dang close to the top. Just barely falling inside of it. 3440. So what I'm going to eventually do is we'll have, you know, at least two measurements right here and maybe a height measurement, which I'm not so worried about. Two measurements across and a height, and the measurements should be, you know, I'm just going to doodle them out an inch from each other or something, and X amount from this height and X amount from this height, right, to get some sort of geometrical standpoint of where I'm going to be measuring from. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Once again, 0.2 is what I'm happy with. But I think I'm gonna blend on it a little bit, and then I'm gonna match it again and see if my numbers aren't a little more even with each other. I might end up being able to skip the last step if I can get them to blend in correctly. Because it's gonna put off just the right pressure on the high spots the way I'm doing it. You'll see. Or you won't. Maybe I'll keep it a secret. Maybe I won't.